So first thing, what's new in Intune for 2025? Microsoft did a blog post on this on the Intune blog. The actual official what's new documentation hasn't been updated yet because 2505 started rolling out in APAC just yesterday, so it'll probably be a day or two before we see those. But anyways, some quick updates on what's being added with 2505. Multiple administrator approvals is now going to support remote actions, which if you're using multiple administrator approvals in your tenant, very useful. If you go to perform like a wipe or something like that, you can configure that now so that at least two people need to approve that before the action moves forward. So that was a big deal. Some remote help updates for Android as well as Linux server updates. But the one that I did really want to point out is that Android, iOS, and Mac OS device inventory is being released with 2505. So we had device hardware inventory on the Windows side of things for a little bit. Let's see, does this blog post remind me of the date? Yeah. Late last year that we got it, and at the time they did announce that it was going to be released for the other devices as well. So happy to see that that's going to be released. As you can see here, we're going to get 74 properties on the Apple side of things and 32 on the Android side of things. So very useful. Though these are some of this is restricted to advanced analytics. Happy to see that hardware inventory is gaining traction there. And we're seeing improvements. A couple of other things that I came across. Steve Weiner over at the GETRUBIX YouTube channel did a podcast with one of our friends, an MVP in the community, Haley Phillips. That was just released earlier today, so that's going to be on my list for later today to check this out. Two very smart people, so I'm excited to hear what they had to talk about. And in that same vein, Fabian Rodriguez, who works over at Recast, has started a podcast called Diary of a SysAdmin, and he has already had some fantastic guests on his show. So Matt Zaski, Brian Dam, David Segura, Mike Terrell, Dean Ellerby, Steve Jessic, Haley Phillips. It's already within a month. Fabian's got some fantastic folks on that podcast. So I did want to shout out his podcast. I recommend checking out some of these interviews where they're kind of just talking about, their experiences, how they got to where they're at, how they started out, and things like that. And actually, it looks like Haley was on his podcast just yesterday. So some really great stuff here. Yeah, exactly. But these are fun, conversations. I like to hear how different. Johan, you're no stranger to being guests on these kinds of things, and it's always interesting to see how the perspective that the different interviewers take with these folks. So it's great stuff. Happy to see this happening in the community as well.
Yeah, absolutely awesome.
That's what I had for today.
All right, then. I have just a couple of things here, but let me go ahead and steal the screen. All right. First of all, if anyone wants to know how many sub-modules there are in the Microsoft Graph module, it's 39 of them. But who's counting? Apparently I was.
It's quite a few.
Yeah. Now, that was not the reason I switched screen. I just happened to have that one open since earlier. I think it was fun to share. Anywho, last week, David James did a little survey. I consider it a trick survey because one of these are not applicable. good luck in using autopilot to image anything. It's just an enrollment technique. But it turns out to very few people surprised that the ConfigMgr one is still a winning platform. But well, we'll see if other picks up here as MDT slowly fades away. Good stuff there. Then John Towles, one of the organizers, or I would like to say the founder of Workplace Ninja here in the US, he wrote a post about troubleshooting customization, where you use Intune to do basically personalizations of either kiosk machines or just Windows in general. So it was a good read, good troubleshooting tips, things you can look out for. So it was a good blog post to stumble across. So wanted to share it.
Awesome. Very good stuff.
Thank you, sir. So that was all I had in like ready-made news. I am working on a blog post that I'm hoping I can finish tonight, because otherwise I think I'll get yelled at if I don't, put it that way. I have been using a copy log script forever in my sequences, and I wanted to improve it to the level of what the old MDT scripts used to be. So that's what I've been working on. So I basically borrowed. I can show what I was up to, what I am up to. So here I have a ConfigMgr environment, and some of my production demo sequences that I usually show in our trainings or work within our trainings. They have this concept of catching, like I have these set of things that I want to happen. That's my goal. But if any of them fail, I wanted to jump into the so sad section, basically a failure section that I have. Or even if it succeeds, I want to do certain tasks. And one of those tasks is indeed to copy logs up to either a file share or a bits upload if you're using IIS to accept log files. In general, more effective if you have a lot of them, but a file share would do just fine. So this script is something that borrowed from Johan over at OneWin. I think Jürgen has been involved in some extent in this one also. But if I go to that package, let me see. I have that one here. Forgot what folder I put it in, so I'm going to do it this way, and I'm going to find the folder that way. So this is a modification I did of Johan's script, and basically accepts a few parameters where to connect username and password from a variable in the sequence, and then it starts to upload files to put it in an archive and upload it. So I'm combining this together with the PowerShell equivalent of the utility module in good old MDT. This has been around for quite some time. So there's a utility script in MDT that has a logs area where there are basically lists and lists of lists of additional logs that are useful for troubleshooting imaging, not just the SMSTS log file. So that's what I'm working on. I hope I'm getting it published tonight, and we'll see. We'll see.
Very cool. Looking forward to it.